How goes it, folks? Jolly, I love talking to you. And as you know, I've been watching Star Trek Starfleet Academy. I finished up with episode 5, and I've got to say, it is my absolute favorite episode so far, not only because it has my favorite Starfleet Academy character, but it heavily references my personal favorite Star Trek series, Deep Space Nine. And please work with me because I am fighting off a cold or some sort of congestion. As I said, so episode 5, we focus heavily on series acclamation Mill, otherwise known as SAM, hologram entity. And we see pretty much a day or a week or so in her life in which she reveals and goes over details about where she comes from, why she comes from there, and we get all of that in the episode itself. The main thing that is going to catch everybody's attention in this episode is that she follows the trail, or attempts to follow the trail, of what happened to Captain Benjamin Sisko at the end of Deep Space Nine. For those of you that don't know, and spoiler for like a 25-year-old series finale, Sisko, as far as we knew, was unaccounted for at the end of the series. He goes into the fire caves of Bajor, and then he's never heard from again. And it's never really been resolved or explained what happened to him. Sam gets on that trail largely because her creators wanted her to find that out. How goes it, folks? I just need to put in a small correction here. She was not pursuing the fate of Benjamin Sisko because her creators asked her to. She was pursuing the fate of Benjamin Sisko because her creators wanted her to enroll in a specific class, and the professor of that class said that if she could research the fate of Benjamin Sisko, then she would allow her into the class. So big flub up there. That's what I get for recording at 2 a.m. while sick, which is something to think about later on, but oh well. So there's a whole lot of teenage hijinks, as you would expect, because Sam is the image of a teenage girl. So she's trying to work out, finding out what happened to Sisko, while also kind of dipping and dodging and coming in and out of other people's situations, other little storylines and quirks about her fellow classmates and her friends. I think it all works out very wonderfully, and also, not to give too much away on the episode, there are actually two really big Deep Space Nine connections that happen in like the last few minutes of the episode. Again, not gonna spoil them. I'd rather you just watch it for yourself, because if you love Deep Space Nine, you are going to love this episode altogether. So, me personally, again, I said, favorite episode so far, because it gives Sam some purpose of what she is doing, and it also gave her a moment of taking command of her own life, despite being a creation from others, and having that purpose there given to her from a higher being, or so to speak. I also did enjoy the small moments there, like they did the typical college students go out to a bar, Sam causes trouble, and things just go downhill from there, and she gets her stern talking to from Commander Ake. So as for the heavy Deep Space Nine connections, one source that Sam managed to get her hands on is a book that was written by Benjamin Sisko's son, Jake. And she pours over this book, trying to figure out what she can to see if she can discover what truly happened to Benjamin Sisko. Again, I'll leave the answer of what she finds out up to you if you decide to go and watch that episode. I'm telling you, folks, y'all got to get out here and watch this show. Do not believe the haters, do not believe the grifters, ones that are going to keep on crying about it breaks lore, it's inconsistent, it doesn't do this, it doesn't follow that, it's just trash and blah blah blah. Every time I've asked someone to explain how Starfleet Academy breaks lore, I don't get an answer. Either that, or I get somebody that's pointing to a random YouTuber that, I don't know, they aren't watching it's like they're not watching the episodes, they're just skimming over them to find things to nitpick and complain about. Like, for example, I've heard somebody complain, well, in episode 5 is, well, why did Captain Ake have people over for a dinner party so they could reenact a play? They say it right in the episode. The commander or the chancellor of the War Academy needed help on making contact with a species that he has no experience with. Commander Ake says, hey, I know how to work with them, I've dealt with them before, I can help you. The dinner party was to act out a situation or a confrontation with those people so he would know how to act, how to interact, what to say, what not to say, do or not do. It's like they're not even watching the show. They're just skimming over it to find something to complain about and then run to YouTube with some AI generated thumbnail so they can, I don't know, get clicks or something. So go check the show out for yourself. I'm gonna keep saying that. Go check the show out for yourself. No, it's not exactly like the old shows. It is not supposed to be like the old shows. And I promise you, if they were like the old shows, then these same real fans would suddenly start running around saying, all they're doing is copying the old stuff. They're riding the coattails of the old material. They need to do something new. These are people that have already decided they're gonna complain and not like it anyway. So yes, episode 5, series acclamation meal, personal favorite episode with personal favorite character, referencing personal favorite series. I enjoy it. I think you will too. You folks have a good one. Dollar Yellow out. Always keep exploring.